And joining me now to talk more about this is Della. He's the director of polling at the Harvard Institute of Politics and an NBC News contributor who's closely following the voting habits of young Americans. So Donald Trump is leading President Biden among young voters. That is a major reversal from what we saw in 2020. What's your reaction to seeing these numbers less than a year out from Election Day? And should someone at the White House be hitting an alarm bell right now?
Well, listen, Ryan, yes, I see a lot of polling that shows that the race is close. In some polls, Donald Trump is up by a couple of points among younger voters. In other polls, he's down by a couple of points among younger voters. Younger voters will not be supporting Donald Trump in a year from now. That I know. That I'm sure of. What also, though, we can't take this lightly. The White House cannot certainly take this lightly. It's a signal. It's a signal that younger people who were such an important contributor to President Biden's coalition in 2020 are questioning, what they have received in terms of deliverables over the last couple of years. And remember, polls are snapshots and not movies. And I think over the course of the next 11 and a half months, we'll see a campaign, which is a movie, where $1 billion will be spent reminding younger people of the many accomplishments from the Biden administration, comparing President Biden to the alternative. But I'm not convinced, based upon crossed-outs of a couple of hundred people, that the president is actually losing the youth vote to Donald Trump.
Is it really not so much a concern for the president about losing the youth vote as much as it is that these young voters just decide to stay home on Election Day?
Yeah, so there's a couple different aspects of this which were important, right? Number one is in 2018 and 2020 and for many races in 2022, we saw historic levels of youth participation, part one. The second part of that, President Biden received 60% of that vote in 2020, second only to Barack Obama in 2008. So the combination of high turnout as well as high support for Democrats are the key. You have to have both parts of that equation working. So it's both a question of making sure that young people turn out and that they choose, basically to participate in the two-party system here, choosing Democrat or Republican, and not one of the myriad of independent candidates right now.
Yeah, of which there are quite a few to pick from. Our poll also has young voters disapproving of the president's handling of the Israel-Hamas war by a pretty big margin. Do you think that this is contributing to the drag on his support with young voters?
Yeah, I think unlike the such a kind of horse race, these numbers have been pretty consistent from poll over poll over poll, and yet roughly, a fifth to a quarter approve, which means a solid majority disapprove of that. And I think this is an era where foreign policy does matter. We know that, the president's honeymoon was interrupted by Afghanistan in 2021. And we know now also that younger people, have a fundamental different perspective regarding the Israel-Hamas war than their parents and their grandparents. And they prioritize, as we can see in these numbers and other polls, they prioritize protecting civilians. They are sickened by what happened October 7th, but they also are prioritizing the innocent Palestinians on the other side. And they're telling us through this polling that they empathize as much for the Israeli people as they do the Palestinian people.
All right. John, thank you for putting it into context for us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.